I just want to slightly go back to this earlier issue, just to clarify this, because in a way I know what you want to do. You want to put emphasize FOE's position, which is great. But okay, can you just put it in context? Do you think that today's goings-on with Tuvalu, with the controversy over the Danish paper, the G77, the developing countries statement, which we showed the press conference of earlier, I'm just trying to put it in perspective. Do you think this is part of, well, the negotiations, we're getting down to it now, we've got to have cuts, we've got to have money. Is this a position, or should we be more worried than that?
Time will tell, but it is quite normal at these early stages in the negotiations that there are all sorts of rumours, that there are all sorts of interpretations and misinterpretations of what's gone on. I think this is actually quite routine, and I wouldn't worry too much yet. I think we are right, as Friends of the Earth, to point out the dangers of people's actions. We are right to point out the final outcomes that would be fair and strong, but I wouldn't panic yet because of the things that you're seeing.
There's another different kind of number I'd like to ask you about, sure. Andy, which is Tuvalu talking about 1.5 degrees.
Yes.
And I found that very illuminating, because we've almost been brainwashed into thinking that somehow 2 degrees is somehow okay and expected and unavoidable.
I mean, so if Tuvalu is saying, look, 1.5 degrees is the maximum you should go to, and we at Friends of the Earth would agree with that. Now, it is very, very clear now that 2 degrees would already be catastrophic for many, many parts of the world. It was the EU that originally defined 2 degrees as being dangerous climate change, but you have to ask, dangerous for whom? It's already disastrous for others, like Tuvalu, like many small island states, like an island I was brought up on in the Pacific. I mean, I know what this does to small island states.
Having also been brought up in a small island, not in the same ocean. I mean, the question is, so much of this is to do with our mindsets.
Yep.
And we have become almost brainwashed into thinking that 2 degrees is inevitable. But some people say things are so much worse now. The scientists keep telling us things are worse.
Yep.
I mean, is 2 degrees inevitable? Is the 1.5 that you and I and Tuvalu would like, is it actually impossible? Is it about
our view at Friends of the Earth, when we look at the science, is that it is still possible to keep temperature below a 2 degree rise. However, I mean, the technology is there to make considerable advances towards that quite rapidly, and you would need to bring in other technologies further down the line. But we think it can be done with a combination of technologies and actually energy efficiency, which is the quickest saving you could make in a rich country like mine, and it would actually save people money. It would be so sensible. We just need to get on with it. What is lacking is the political will. And actually, one of the things I'm very much hoping, we're hoping at Friends of the Earth, that this Copenhagen conference will do, is not just lead to a strong and fair agreement, but really increase public awareness of the problem, of the urgency of action, but also of the solutions that are there. Because public backing for the politicians to do the right thing, unfortunately, is necessary in a democracy.
But also, it's very frightening to see that in the UK and the US, the numbers of people believing in man-made climate change is actually falling. This is so bizarre. Why is this? Is this like when people smoke more for a bit before they stop smoking? What is it?
I mean, we ask ourselves the same question. I don't know. I can speculate. I think we are in a time of recession. When we're in a time of recession, people hang on to what they know. They hang on to what makes them feel secure. Any perception that other people's ideas are going to make them poorer makes them react. Thing number one. Thing number two, I think there are many fewer real climate skeptics now. But they all know each other. They're working very closely together. We have a massive campaign against the truth. That's what's going on. And this isn't just an accident. There's some very bright people whose interest it serves to make others believe climate change isn't happening, and they're working very hard to bring that about. This is a battle.
Isn't this such a ridiculous short-term view? But there are some people who do genuinely believe that climate change doesn't exist still.
Yes.
And it's very hard when they believe it in a very profound ideological way for them to shift. But I'm glad to hear that you feel that the numbers are smaller. I mean, we have at OneClimate quite a lot of people apparently a lot of people being skeptical.
Yeah.
But then we can see from looking at their comments that it's often 2 or 3 people pretending to be many people from analysing the comments.
I think the other thing that happens is that lots of people, normal people of goodwill, are simply confused. They read the papers and they don't know what's going on. So I have friends of mine talk to me and say, so how does climate change work? And when you explain the simple physics, it would be incredible if the world wasn't heating up, given everything we're doing to it. It's as inevitable of plugging a kettle in, it's going to boil. You know, it's very simple physics. But most people have never had that explained to them. They just read what they see in the press. It seems contradictory, so they genuinely don't know. And so actually what we need is a little bit more clear explanation to normal people about why this is happening. And I think more people would then get it, because actually it's not very surprising that we're heating up.